Start with Justin. How would you assess the offense in the games this season?
I don't know if I would assess it. How would I assess the offense after 3 games? I thought we'd been good, bad, and in the middle. And we're looking forward to seeing what's going to come out this week. Kids have been working hard during the break. We've really been working on some of the things that we feel that's important for us to be consistent. Obviously, the last game we thought we opened up the game extremely efficient, and then it went downhill from there. But coaches have been working hard, players have been working hard, and we're looking forward to getting back out there and see what we can do.
And what do you think led to it going downhill after the first drive?
I think there was a lot of penalties and mental mistakes.
Troy?
In terms of Noah, he's had the NAU game where he had his struggles there. That first drive he was really good and then had his struggles there. How have you seen him perform this week in practice and how he's been able to overcome that as one of the leaders of this football team?
Well, there's no doubt he's a leader and he's one of our best players, and we need our best players to play well. And we have I think he has every intention of doing that. So he's one of our leaders, there's no doubt about it. As he go, we go. And as we start to solidify the offensive line, we anticipate being better and better and better.
What advice do you give a guy like that who's trying to, I don't want to say get out of a slump, but trying to get right?
I think the biggest thing is with guys that spend as much time on the game and that they are so laser focused as he is, I like to use the term try less harder. Just relax, come off the tee, and I'm sure the ball's going to go long and straight if you don't think about it.
Jason?
Coach Brennan had mentioned the other receivers besides T-Mac kind of struggling at times to get open. How do you go about coaching that? What on film have you seen in terms of why they may be struggling to get separation?
Well, I just think that we need to, again, find our rhythm. I think there's times when guys are open and there's times when they've been covered. But it's being consistently good and not occasionally great that we're looking for that 2, 3, and 4 receivers. And then also we've got to get our running backs involved. If they're going to play that much man, then those linebackers need to cover our running backs as well.
Justin? Kean Burnett was a guy who was heavily involved in training camp. Obviously, we haven't really seen him much for the last couple games. How can he get involved more?
I think the biggest thing, he has to get over some owies. He's had some owies in the first 2 games. This bye week's been good for him. He's moving around better than I've seen him in a while. And hopefully that fresh guy that we saw in the spring and the guy we saw in August is going to show up on Saturday.
And what are the benefits of getting those guys involved in the passing game, the tight ends?
Well, I think it's when anytime you got a tight end, you usually have a mismatch with a tight end versus a safety, bigger body. And those bigger bodies you don't have to separate horizontally because you can separate vertically. And I think that's really important.
Brian?
Utah did a lot of things this past game against Oklahoma State that they didn't do in their first 3 games. When you're trying to game plan against someone's defense, how much do you have to consider the fact that they may just throw out something brand new?
Yeah, we have the plan, and then we have the plan that no one anticipates people doing, and we prepare for both of those. So we can either go side A on the album, or we can flip it over and go side B on the album. And for all the young people out there, you're going to have to Google what an album is.
And does Noah have the ability to check out of plays at the line?
He does.
Okay.
Justin? What stands out to you when you look at Utah's defense on film?
Experience, a typical Kyle Whittingham type defense. The defensive line is extremely difficult to move, very tough. Linebackers are active, smack people. DBs can cover. I mean, these guys have been one of the better defenses for a long, long time. This is no surprise. This is just how they play football.
And how does the experience at Kansas State prepare the offense, especially the offensive line, for this kind of game?
I think it's going to be good. I think that, the way it looks now, you might talk about 2 of the better teams in the entire conference being K-State and Utah. And we've got to go play them up in their place. It's going to be a hostile environment. It's a place where I don't think there's a lot of people that brags that they've had a lot of success playing there. Yet we have to go up there and give us our best shot. We know it's going to be hard. We know we're going to have to cross T's and dot I's. But, kind of like Dumb and Dumber. So hopefully we'll have a chance.
Jason?
Would you have preferred no bye week, just going right to another game after that result, or is the bye week?
No, we needed the bye week to get healthy. We've had some guys that have been carrying some lumps, and we needed that to get healthy. And we're we're healthier than we were going into the K-State game, which is good.
Brian.
Considering how successful that jumbo package has been, and particularly when there's a fullback out there, do you find yourself wanting to use that more, maybe in just like not so much a base, but just mixing up more than just like the short yardage situation?
You know, we'll have to see. It's been a successful formation for us. It's been a successful formation at previous stops with other coaches on this staff as well, adopting that stuff. But we'll just have to see. Sometimes the stuff that works in short yardage doesn't necessarily work in open field. But we do have a lot of confidence in it.
Jason Barr in the back.
Do you evaluate creativity on offense?
I didn't hear the first part. All I heard was creativity
Do
on
you
offense.
evaluate that? Do you look at how creative the offense is? And do you think about that when you make a game plan?
I think the biggest thing is everybody would like to be creative, but it's the execution part that decides whether the chains are moving and the chains aren't moving. You know, our philosophy is we want to keep the chains moving as you go into a drive. The more plays you get, the more opportunities you have to score, the more first and second downs you have, the more downs you have to go for touchdowns. When we get on third downs, we're thinking exclusively of trying to get a first down so we can get more opportunities on first and second down to score. So the big thing is execution, but yeah, we like creativity. I like icing on my cake every once in a while.
Justin.
How was it in the Kansas State game with the communication and dealing with the noise and all that?
It was extremely unique. It was extremely unique, and it had an effect on us, obviously. And it's going to be like that. We're in a new conference, and we're going to new venues and different locations in the country. And I think it's going to be difficult playing in a lot of those different places, but it's also going to be fun once we get used to it.
And then with the uncertainty of Ja'Cory and, you know, Speedy trying to get more involved, how's it been for you guys handling maybe some adversity at the running back spot, and how do you get those guys more involved?
Well, I think and that's another thing. We're going to have to play more guys, but it's also those guys were a little banged up. So it's good that bye week really kind of cleaned up some of those guys, so maybe we can get into some rotations again and keep those guys fresher, so maybe we can get some more explosives out of them.
Any more questions? All right, that's our time.
Thank you, guys.